Well, there was a group of us got together, and it was in early 91, and we had what was known as a study group. And the study group had to learn all the rules and everything about the Erris Credit Union. And I was the chairman of that study group. And then when we opened up here then in 1993, I was the chairman of the credit union. When we started, we had this study group. Like there was myself, then there was Maeve, my wife, Mary McAndrew, Joe Murray, John McAndrew, Anne-Marie Barrett, John Riley, Caroline Murray, Marty Lynch, PJ Taha, Tríocha Bliain, Maureen Connolly, Tom Bohan, Sheila Rutherford, and Maeve Montague. And that was the group that started. And then we kept going for the following next year and went right through all the rules. We went all over the country and we went up and down. It's all voluntary, all our own time, but it was exciting.
I was involved in the credit union for close on 18 years, 17 plus. At that time I was probably the chairman or vice chairman for 9 or 10 of them. They were busy times. It wasn't the formative years, the early years, and they were enjoyable. But two of the things that do stand out for me looking back is the volunteerism and the commitment at the time and the dedication to something, to a belief. And the second thing was, we'd say, gained acceptability among the general populace of the Erris area. It was a new concept, it was a new phenomenon. They would have heard about them, people that had travelled out beyond Erris. But this was on their own doorstep, run by their own people, volunteers and from their own area. It was that level of acceptability and getting it out into the wider community that was a massive achievement at the time.
I remember our first loan that went out, and it was all right. I forget now how much it was or anything like that, but it was all right. It was a good loan, and we knew it was a good loan, and we were nervous about never giving out money now. Up to then we were kind of taking it in. But when somebody comes in and says they want a few thousand. And then we thought, but when I went to the board then and all that, and well, now of course we have a credit committee, but they were saying, oh yeah, well, and of course the majority was in favour of it. But it turned out a great loan. Yeah, we were lucky, because if that went down, I think I'd better think it out again, sort of a thing,
I remember the time way back in the late 90s when we were actually renting this building. And then it came out, the owner offered it for sale. And I don't know if Cecil touched on this earlier on or not, but we had some hairy moments where we were wondering how were we going to buy it, but we couldn't let it pass. But I do remember Cecil and myself, and I can't remember one or two others at the time, thinking about, where were we going to fund it? And we were talking about a 15-year loan, and as it transpired, and we were growing at such a phenomenal rate that in actual fact we found out then that we could actually pay it back maybe in a year or two. But the hilarious thing was that we never actually borrowed for it at all. So that was the success. That was the rate of success. They talk about Anglo-Irish Bank being a successful bank, but you saw what happened there. When we said the Erris Credit Union was a very successful small bank in a small town, but still here long after Anglo-Irish has gone by the wayside. I was down to the people. It was down to the people of the Erris area. It was down to the members. It was down to the trust they had in it, and it was down to the volunteers, the directors that was here, the tellers, the supervisors, all those people that put phenomenal hours and came out bad nights, came in, spent hours on end in here, and because they believed in what they were doing, and it was that was enough. You don't need to be paid highly for that,
And it's thanks to those people of 30 years ago that got together, and we can't thank them enough. Of what they did to get this credit union up and running off the ground. From humble beginnings, it has grown today to have the capacity to lend that 55 million to people in Erris.
Within Erris Credit Union, I will say that we're very fortunate. We have a great team. We have a voluntary board steering the credit union, and they do so in trust for its members. And equally so, we have a staff here of 8, including myself, who are second to none. And, you know, without that, like the whole area of responsibility, you know, carrying through your workload, you know, that's done by all. And I think at the end of the day, really, is fear and shannuckle, ní narca cur le chéile. There's strength and unity and togetherness. And I think that's really true here in the credit union over the last 30 years. Maura McNulty is the longest serving employee in Erris Credit Union. She came on board a year after the credit union was set up. And her knowledge and memory, knowledge of the members, knowledge of the area and the history is just, it's worth its weight in gold.
My name is Maura McNulty and I am with the credit union for the past 28 years. I came in here as a volunteer first, as a teller, and then I was on the board, and then I began to work at the counter, and I was on various committees. When members come in here, they meet somebody and they can talk to somebody. They don't have to talk to machines, you know.
I think it's something to be very proud of for the whole community. It's such a great facility, and you know, you won't hear anyone giving out about it because there's nothing to give out about. It's such a positive impact on the whole community, be it someone, you know, that does regular savings, or be it kids that start their first savings account here, which is really important to get them, you know, from a young age, and the importance of saving. It's just a huge benefit, and it then go down to the whole loans, be it a €200 loan or a €20,000 loan. It has helped so many people in different situations with their own individual situation.
All the ladies that are working here, they're just, it's, you know, everyone knows each other, so there's always a friendly chat as well as, and you know, they ask you about yourself or you ask them, and it's just a very local community thing as well, and you'll meet people as you come in and have a chat, and it's lovely.
If we walk down the street in Balmulla and see 4 people together, we know that at least 2 of them are members of the credit union. You know, it's just something that we think about. We're very conscious of the support of that we've gotten down through the years, that the credit union has gotten down through the years from the people here in Erris. You know, the credit union itself, you know, the embodiment of friendliness, being there for people, and it's captured so well on the logo of the credit union, the wonderful logo of the credit union, you know, the 2 hands up holding the image of the family and individuals up, you know, with the global image in the background. That's support. That's what's here.
We bought the ground from Michael Mangan of Carden Hill, the late Michael Mangan, and it needed to be developed, so we went to the credit union. The credit union, I don't think, was long in existence at the time, and we got a loan. We were sanctioned for a loan for €15,000, and there was guarantors. Some of us, there was a percentage of us who signed for as guarantors, and for the credit union at the time, they were pivotal in us moving on to a different plane completely. As far as I know now, I think it was 5 years to pay back the loan, but we had to pay it back in 3. Very important for any sporting body in the community, so that they know fine well that the credit union is there and they can apply for funding or to develop their whatever sport they're into.
I think it's a wonderful institution because it's one of the very few places you can go in, you can meet somebody face to face and get a little bit of advice if you need it, a loan, and think it's 30 years in existence. I think it's a lot to be proud of. I suppose it's that, opportunity to come in, talk face to face with somebody. It's local, it's Erris, it's a kind of an organisation that's kind of for the members. They're not customers, they're members of the union. I think that's really important.
I love the idea of the identity that we have here in Erris, you know, that we have our own credit union here in Erris. The next nearest credit union would be either, you know, Ballina or Westport or something like that. But we have our own one.
It's from the cradle to the grave. That's really where you start off. You're looking to maybe for the communion, you're looking for the confirmation, you're borrowing a bit there. They've done the leaving cert, suddenly they're away to college. There's the student loan, that's the next thing. It's the life, the first car. They're moving on then, maybe they're going on holidays with friends. That's another area that they would borrow. Various courses, maybe they want to upskill. There'll be different things like that. Maybe they're getting married or they're moving house. They've bought a house if they're lucky enough, or they're doing up an old house. There's all those types of things as well. Home improvements. We do everything really, from as little as we would have members who would buy the load of turf and they'd borrow for that, right up to the bigger cars, and the changing over. So it's really across the whole life area, really. That's where we touch at different stages in their lives, really.
The girls are so approachable. Just come in, they'll give you all the information there and then. Go back at your ID, your proof of address. Come back in, fill out a form, and it's up to yourself. You can set up standing orders to come directly out of your wages, your Bank of Ireland, or Ulster Bank, or whatever account, and it's that simple. It's a really easy process. You can come in. If you got a few pounds for Christmas or birthdays, come in, throw it into an account. It's just, it's really easy. The girls are so approachable, and they'll run through everything with you.
The credit union is not for profit, and at the end of the day, that's our comparative advantage, or competitive advantage, if you could call it that, because one of the things that we would do for our members is that any surpluses or profits that are made within the credit union are retained within the credit union, either in terms of the credit union itself by maintaining or improving the services we give our members, or else it would remain within the community, be it through the wages of the staff, or be it through the funds, the members' funds that are given out in loans to our borrowers, which by and large are invested and spent in the community, or in the county.
We're going to enjoy it. We're going to sit back, reflect on what has been achieved, say thanks to all the people that got us this far, and continue the good work and bring it forward. This is a wonderful place. It's a wonderful part of the country to be in. It's a wonderful place to live, and to embody all that and have this facility. I think it doesn't get much better than that, really.
Well, what I would say to the people of Erris, that have supported the credit union and been part of it, I think you should be proud of yourselves. But just as much as we'd be proud of you. But it's you have been Erris people supporting an Erris community voluntary organisation. You've made it what it is, and you keep doing that and stay with it.
Oh, thank you for trusting us and for believing in what a credit union does.
30 years, huge achievement for Erris Credit Union, huge. It's been fantastic for the whole community, and here's to many, many more years of service in the community, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday to them, and keep up the good work.
We're the youngest credit union in Ireland. We're only 30 years young, so a great pat on the back to you, our members, and especially to you, our borrowers, for helping us, for your loyalty and your support over the last 30 years. And I would finish up maybe in saying that if you have any further plans and you need a loan, please talk to us. We're here to help you.